please welcome your host, Kate Silverton.
Oh my goodness. Hi, good morning. Good morning. This feels rather special. Of course, we should be in Geneva, but we're here and it feels very, very special. Good morning, everybody. A special welcome to those of you watching from around the world and to everybody here at MTC in Woking, the home, of course, of McLaren Automotive for this, the first ever McLaren Motor Show. To tell us then a little bit more about why we're here, please welcome McLaren Automotive CEO Mike Flewitt.
Morning,
Good
Kate.
to see you.
Thank you.
It feels odd because normally we're in Geneva and yet it feels strangely right. Now, we're here, of course, born of rather more difficult circumstances, given that the entire car industry was expecting to be in Geneva for the Geneva Motor Show, and yet we're here in your stunning head office.
Yes, and we're sorry not to be in Geneva due to the concerns raised by the coronavirus, but we do need to be respectful of the situation. And the upside is that we're here coming to you from the McLaren Technology Centre, the home of McLaren.
So we give a very warm welcome to the entire team here because normally they would have weeks, probably months, in order to get you to this point, and they've only had, what, hours, really? What's it been like behind the scenes?
Well, it's been incredibly busy, and as you know, behind the scenes there's an awful lot going on, and there has been since Friday when the organisers of the Geneva Motor Show made the responsible decision, and a decision, I must say, that we fully support. But we also have a business to run, and we have responsibilities to our customers, our suppliers, our employees. So it's been a huge effort by the team, but the McLaren team are nothing if not agile and innovative. So we're excited, we've got a lot to talk about, and as they say, the show must go on.
Indeed, and as you say, just talking about that agility, it's just lovely to see so many familiar faces with everybody that's got you to this point. So let's talk about that then in the fast-moving world of McLaren. What's been happening?
Well, 2019 was an incredibly busy year for us, the busiest year for new model launches that we've had. We unveiled 4 new vehicles, all aimed at different segments of the luxury supercar market. We launched the 600 LT Spider and the 720S Spider, which epitomise our uncompromising approach to high-performance driving. In each case, we've added the thrill of open-top driving without compromise, thanks to our trademark, lightweight, incredibly strong carbon fibre structure. And last year, we also introduced our own interpretation of a McLaren Grand Tourer, with the GT taking our brand into an all-new vehicle class.
And you've got a fantastic example of the GT here. Yes,
Kate, we do. The GT offers continent-crossing capabilities that you would expect of a Grand Tourer, but in a uniquely McLaren way, with a focus on being lighter and more engaging to drive, and with greater comfort and practicality than any McLaren that's gone before. And on display, we have the McLaren Verdant Theme GT by MSO, displaying a rich new layer of craftsmanship. It blends 3 exterior colours, whilst with the interior, key touch points in the cabin are trimmed with cashmere. The first time this luxurious wool has been used in a supercar.
And we're seeing that on the screen now. And of course, it's not the only car that you've got on display.
Yes, we also recently revealed our latest Ultimate Series car, the McLaren Elva. The Elva is a timelessly beautiful car that speaks to our brand history and echoes the days of Bruce McLaren's earliest road car ambitions. Our founder, Bruce McLaren, worked as a test driver of Elva cars, and when he founded McLaren in 1963, it was Elva that built those very first McLarens. In this way, the Elva name echoes the very birth of the McLaren brand and the realization of Bruce McLaren's dreams. Our new Elva is an open-top roadster focused on the timeless exhilaration of driving. But the Elva's world-first active air management aerodynamic system maintains a barrier of calm air in the cockpit, despite there being no windscreen. It is truly groundbreaking.
I know you're really pleased. I know you're really pleased. And you're not one, as I also know, for slowing down. So what else have you got in store then for 2020?
Well, that's right. And maybe the highlight today, our LT sub-brand has built a reputation for taking McLaren's obsession with lightweighting, high power output and driver engagement to the extreme. Our LT models enjoy cult status, and I'm proud to say they are acclaimed as being the best drivers' cars in the world. And now we raise the bar even further with our latest LT model launch, a car that is the ultimate expression of our brand ethos, a car that quite simply compels you to drive it. So ladies and gentlemen, making its worldwide debut today here at the McLaren Technology Centre, it's my great pleasure on behalf of the entire McLaren team to introduce to you the McLaren 765 LT.
McLaren 765 LT.
Gorgeous.
Unquestionably striking, and with a performance to match.
Absolutely. I mean, the 765 LT is both lightweight and incredibly powerful. Compared to the 720S, the model on which it's based, power is up by 45 horsepower and with a 30 newton meter torque increase while reducing the weight of the car by 80 kilograms. And that's the LT formula, stripped out, track focused, faster throttle response and an enthralling soundtrack.
Yeah, and I know you love to get behind the wheel at every opportunity you get. What is it like to drive?
Well, it's incredible. It's in some ways the finest driver's car we've done. But really, rather than hear from me, I think the best person to talk about the car and how the car drives is the man whose team have done the development work to perfect it. So why don't we bring him out here? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former Indy 500 winner, IRL champion and McLaren chief test driver, Mr. Kenny Breck.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, my friend.
Hey, Kenny, good to see you.
How are
Very
you?
well, thank you. Very well. Tell us about the tell us about the processes Mike was just talking about, and what is it that sets this car apart?
Well, it's a long and intensive program, you know, to develop a car. And in the old days, developing was done through trial and error, by feel. Now, with more advanced technologies, engineering departments have a way of you know, simulating a lot through the development program. But in the end, there's no you know, substitute
Yeah.
for the human touch.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's people who drives the car. So being a test driver is a little bit like maybe being a master chef. You sort of work with the engineering teams to blend these ingredients to come out with the perfect flavor and feel. That's what it is.
And what is it? What is that feel that you are looking to create?
Well, this is an LT model, and that's all about driver engagement, you know, and performance, of course. You know, lots of power, low weight. But the key to be able to use that performance is that the car needs to be able to communicate with you clearly, give you feedback to the driver. You want the car to talk to you and tell you what it's going to do before it does it. So it's not all about performance. It's about getting the linearity and the predictability. And when that all comes together, it's an amazing feeling. And that's an LT.
And that's sort of giving you the confidence to get that full potential from it. I mean, you're
Yes.
sort of giving me a very holistic sort of picture of all the ingredients coming together. Are you saying it's not just about power anymore?
It's not only about power, but power is obviously a very important part of it, you know. Believe me, this car has a lot of power, you know. But McLaren cars, they all have a distinctive character, each one of them. But the common thing is that they all drive well. They feel good behind the wheel. And at McLaren, we have a small team of development drivers, all very successful ex-racing drivers. And, you know, to win a race, to win a championship, you've got to have a winning car, and you've got to know what that feels like, and you've got to be able to help develop and set that car up to feel that way. So we work really a lot with all the things that we can to blend this, and steering
creating that harmony that you're looking for, all those different elements. Just sort of take us through those different elements then.
Yeah, that's how the steering feel, steering response, how the car responds to weight transfers in pitch, roll, heave, cornering balance, brakes, how the brakes feel, how they perform, throttle response, gearing, gear shifts. It all have to feel natural and seamless, and that's an amazing feel, and that's what I think the 765 LT represents for us. So
I think it'd be fair to say that most people watching and most people in the room think you've probably got one of the best jobs in the world. Now, you and I were talking backstage about starting out life. You were encouraging me to get my kids into go-karting, and you're nodding. Looking at what you're doing now and what you've achieved and your job, the role that you play, could you have ever imagined, and what would you have said to that when you were a little go-karter starting out, that you were going to have one of the best jobs in the world?
Well, you never know what life brings, do you? But for me, this is a fantastic job. I've done 35 years of racing, worked with setting up cars, and it's a very creative process. I love that part. We're passionate about that, and so this is like to go into this role for me is like it's a second chapter. It's fantastic. It's a great place to be. McLaren is so passionate about the cars. I love it.
Yeah, and it comes across. And Mike, I know you're really excited about the potential of this car.
Absolutely, it's a tremendous car, and what Kenny and the team have done to develop it is phenomenal. I think what comes from Kenny and the team, largely racing drivers who you work with, is that understanding of what makes a car perform. That predictability, that linearity, that response, that engagement with the driver is just what shines through. And whilst we can engineer it all to perfection, it's really the final bit that's done by the drivers that makes our cars so special. It's why they feel so special when you drive them.
Well, Mike, Kenny, thank you very much indeed. This is going to become another McLaren classic, I think, is what you were saying to me a little earlier. This is your belief?
Absolutely. This will go on, without a doubt, to be one of the classics from McLaren. We're going to build exactly 765 of these cars. Every car will be individually numbered. And that means that everyone who is lucky enough to own one of these will be part of a very exclusive club.
Well, very exclusive indeed. Mike, Kenny, thank you very much indeed. Thank you everyone for joining us here at MTC from around the world via our digital live stream. From everybody here in Woking, the home of McLaren, goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes the McLaren press conference. Media information and images are now available online at our media website. Thank you for your time.